everyone. Welcome to the Total Empowered TV. I'm your host, Nishan Turner, and I'm so excited that you're here today because I have a word of inspiration just for you. You know, I was thinking recently about a lot of people that I've spoken with and who have set some really cool goals for 2018, right? And they've been talking about it and they've been praying about it and they've been believing for it. But I want to ask you a question, just like I asked them. Are you really preparing for what you're praying about? And so as women, we need to think about that. Are we really prepared for what we've been thinking about? And so I'm going to talk about a few areas of preparation. But first of all, I want to talk about, what does preparation mean? See, for me, preparation means having a plan, having a strategy, knowing what you're going to do, what actions you're going to take in order to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And so as I was talking to one of my clients, I was thinking about something that he said. And he said, you know what, I want to have X, Y, and Z to happen to me, but I'm really not expecting it to happen to me. And that made me think about faith without works is dead, right? And so how many of us are actually having the faith that something is going to take place for us, but we don't have the action, we don't have the work that's lining up with our faith? So when I thought about what he said, that I want certain things to happen, but I'm not expecting it. See, when we stay in the want to category or the want to zone, that's a passive type of activity, right? We're expecting something to happen to us instead of something happening through us. But when we think about expecting something, that's when you are active, right? That's that activation of your faith driving you to do or perform an action to really move your life forward, right? To really bring your dream to life. And so it's important for us to think about how to prepare for the things that we've been praying about. Because see, faith and works is really a partnership. It is a marriage. And so if you divorce one from the other, then what do you have? You have nothing, right? And so it's important for us to continue to prepare, utilizing our faith in God, faith in ourselves, but yet to couple that with some action steps, right? So I want you to think about, are you really utilizing your faith? Are you really activating yourself to a position that is causing a change to come upon in your life? And so when we think about preparation, I want you to think about the backdrop of your life. What are some of those areas that you really want to prepare for, right? So let's think about your relationships. How have you been preparing yourself to take your relationships to the next level? Whether it's in your marriage, or whether it's in your friendships, or whether it's in some type of partnership, what have you been doing when you realize that this is not all that it could be? So what do I need to do that's going to bring it to a whole nother level, that's going to make it valuable to both parties, where it's going to make it something that is fulfilling, something that is more satisfying? What do I need to schedule into my life that's going to have the impact that I wanted to have on that person, as well as for it to have on myself, right? So relationships are really important. And when we think about relationships, also just thinking about, what people do you have in your life, right? That maybe you need to get out of your life. You know, some of us have toxic relationships. We have relationships that are not moving us in the directions of our dream, relationships that are not supporting us. So what relationships that have been negative in your life, that's not helping you to be better, right? But it's causing you to not be your best, and it's causing you to side with the negativity of how they perceive you. It's not building you up, but it might be tearing you down. So those are some areas that you want to think about when it comes to your relationship. Is this a relationship that I need to maintain? Is this a relationship that I need to alleviate out of my life? Okay, let's look at another area that you need to prepare for in order to experience what it is that you set a goal or an intention to have happen, right? So here's another area. What about financially? Ooh, Now, a lot of us can deal with our finances and we can look at things and say, you know, I need to get out of debt. And you've been saying that for the last 2, 3, 10, maybe 15 years or more. Right? But what are you really doing? Are you setting yourself on a budget? Are you seeing a financial counselor? Are you really being strategic with your spending? Do you have a system in place? Something that is helping you to save, something that allows you to give, and something that allows you to spend just a little bit, right? Because we still got to live and we still want to enjoy life. But those are some areas as well to think about. Your relationship, your finances, right? What about your spiritual relationship? If you're believing for more, what are you doing to get more, to gain more access to God? Are you strengthening your prayer life? Are you going to Bible study? Are you reading your Bible more? What are you doing? Are you listening to tapes? Are you going to conferences? Are you journaling? What are those things that you're doing that's going to help you to prepare to grow into the person that you know that God is calling you to grow into, maybe to grow into your calling or your ministry? What are you doing in preparation of that? Are you going back to school? What are you doing? Right? It's not just enough, God fix me, God make me better, make me stronger, make me, more faithful. But what are you really doing that's going to allow your life to go to the next level? Right? So there's, of course, another area physically. For myself, I've been challenged with some knee problems and all of that. But physically, I know that there are some things that I can do to kind of help minimize the pain that I may have in my knees. Because guess what? I'm doing a 5K in another month, and it's called Run Like a Diva. And I'm going to run that thing and I'm going to cross the finish line. But what am I doing? I'm preparing. I'm going to the gym. I'm working out. I'm changing my diet. I'm doing a lot of different things to help me to be the best that I can be. And not just for this race, but listen, as an international speaker and one who goes and speak at different conferences and does workshops and trainings, it's important for me to be healthy, to be able to have this body to be at its optimum, right? And so in doing that, I need to be eating right. I need to be exercising. I need to be getting the proper rest. And so what are you doing to make sure that you're taking care of your physical body, this temple that we have? And so that's another area. If you want to be stronger, you got to do those things. It's going to help you to be stronger in those areas. You're going to have to eliminate some of those things, some of the junk food, some of the other things that you may have, allowed yourself to participate in, probably more than what you want to, or need to. So it's important for us to think about how we can, bring ourselves to that place that we want to be by changing not only our mind, and that's a whole nother video, but also to use our faith to believe that it's possible to change where we're at in our lives in order to get where we want to be. Okay, another area, character. What about your character? We're all trying to strive to get to the next level in our lives, but you know what? If our character is not right, if we don't have integrity, if we're not honest, if we're not loyal, right? Only the game plan and the tricks and all of those things that perhaps you've been using to get to where you are now, it will not keep you when you get to where you really want to be. So when we think about preparing for that thing that we've been praying for, it's really about not trying to get ready, but to be ready. Right? And so that's one of the things that we have to really strive to as women. How do we do what we need to do? Who do you have in your life that can support you in getting to where you want to be? Another area that I think about is the heart. Is your heart right? Is your heart in the right place? Right? What have you been doing emotionally? Are you emotionally healthy? Do you find yourself, experiencing a lot of anger and outbursts and just gossiping or doing too much because your heart is not right? Right? So you want to get your heart in check. You want to kind of police your heart and say, okay, do I have anything in my heart? Any unforgiveness? Anything that's blocking my blessing? So check out your heart. Be honest about what you're feeling, right? And then also, is your mindset right? Are you mindful of what you're thinking about? Sometimes we got to think about what we're thinking about. And we have the opportunity and the power to change what we're thinking about. We don't have to camp out there in the negativity. We don't have to camp out there in the things that we're allowing ourselves to be distracted by, right? To lose our focus. So if you are not able to focus on your goal, on your dream, right, you need to see, how can I begin to do that? Right? What do I need to get rid of? Do I need to turn off TV, social media? Do I need to set timers? How do I need to allow myself and create more productivity in my life? So these are the things that I'm talking about that is critical for us, not just to be praying about it, but we have to be preparing for it so that the changes that we're trying to see happen in our lives, that we're believing for, that we're praying about, that we're talking to other people about, that we're confessing and doing vision boards and affirmations for, what are you really doing to really make those things happen? Think about your mindset. Think about your heart. Think about your body physically. Think about your relationships. Think about your areas spiritually. Think about your finances. Those are the things, and perhaps even more that I didn't even mention, but you know what those things are that you need to get in line and to utilize your faith to help you to get there, but more than that, to utilize the action steps, creating action steps to get to where you really want to be. It's a marriage, y'all. You can't do one without the other. So listen, if you are laying back in your comfort zone, I tell people all the time, find your comfort zone and then stay out of it and find out what you need to do next in order to not only stretch yourself, but to allow yourself to grow and become the total empowered woman that you are meant to be. Listen, if you need help, just go on my website at NayshawnTurner.com. I am considered the Empower Mentor, and I would love to coach you. I would love to work with you. And look on my blog. There's lots of things. My radio show, it's called Uniquely Designed Talk, the Total Empowered Woman radio show. So there's a lot of resources that I have available to help you to prepare for what you've been praying for. See you guys next week, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye. Hey, join me on all of my social media. Just follow the links below.